you have to start off with what you have. I think a
Yeah.
lot of businesses, I mean, let's put the finance side of it aside. If you're spending like 2-3 grand to get things moving, then you're already 2-3 grand in the red, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, if you start off with what you have, you're training yourself to be resourceful, which you have to be if you're going to start a business, because there are going to be times where you have problems to solve and you have no obvious way to solve them, and you're going to have to really think outside the box. And I think doing that straight off the bat kind of trains you and your mindset to look for ways to solve a problem outside of the obvious ways to solve it, right?
Yeah, because you've got to be resourceful, you've got to be savvy and use what you've got so that you can be ready to invest when the time comes.
Yeah. I mean, obvious things like if you cannot do what you want to do without buying a certain piece of equipment, then for sure you're going to have to invest it. But I think that, like really starting to train yourself as to how to be resourceful is a really good thing to start off straight off the bat, because then you do carry that on, like what you said with the free prints. I bet from that you've been like, I wonder what else I can do. Like, I wonder what else I can kind of do to save a few bob. And there's nothing wrong with that. Even now I'm like, exactly. It's like, how can I save a few bob? Okay, well, I can buy 3,000 boxes rather than 100 of them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And then you have the other ways, which are, which you have to dig a little bit deeper. But again, if you start doing that from point A, by the time you scale and get to point D, you're going to be really good at it.
Yeah. And it does transfer as well, because I remember when I first set up my email mailing list, and I used Mailchimp.
Yes.
And on the free version, which I'm still on, by the way.
That's fine.
Because I am super savvy. On the free version, it doesn't let you automate, have a welcome sequence.
Yes.
But I figured out that you can send an email after on the first day, an email on the second day, and an email on the third day. That's absolutely fine. And that's my welcome sequence. It's not directly a welcome sequence that I've set up where it's official, but it works as a welcome sequence.
Yes.
So I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they kind of avoid doing things. So many people watching this, and I'm sure if you're watching this and you're like, I haven't even really done the email thing yet, it's a really good little exercise to do, to be like, am I procrastinating because it's going to cost me money, or am I procrastinating because I don't want to think too hard about it? I know there's ways to solve the problem, i.e. I don't want to spend anything on having the Mailchimp Pro, like what you've done. Are you avoiding it because of that, or are you doing it because you're scared to spend, or you just don't want to just take the time to work out a workaround? I think a lot of tools, I say probably good 85% of tools you don't have to pay for, right? For example, we use Later, right, and that is free. I mean, we used the free account for a long time. In fact, I think do we still use a free account, or do we use a paid account? I can't remember.
I think we don't use the paid account features, so check on that, Steph, because you could be saving money.
Could be saving some money there. What?
Though, because we don't actually use the paid features if we are paying for them.
Exactly that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna actually write a note.
Make a note.
Make a note. Check Later, because I don't want to spend unnecessary coin on getting that stuff done.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of tools, there are free workarounds, but again, it's the time versus money aspect. So for example, Later, yes, you can schedule out stuff for Facebook, and you can use their native. So if you go and you do a post, then you click next, you have a little date box in the bottom right hand corner to schedule. Yeah. So you can do it that way. However, Later is literally a click and drop thing, and then you just go blah, 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 copy and paste your caption, whatever, and then you're done. So it's kind of you don't have to pay for tools, but they are going to save you time in the long run.
Yeah, but when you're first starting out, that first year in business, like you say, Later is perfect. Mailchimp is perfect free. Canva is absolutely brilliant on the free version as well. But when you do get to a point where you're like, now I need to invest, I need to save time rather than money, then the paid versions are equally as good.
Yeah, no, I think that you can definitely, I remember when I first started my business, I started, because I'm a spreadsheet nerd, I did the spreadsheets before I started the business. That's how much of a nerd I am. And I had like this little finance spreadsheet with like business stuff, and when I first started my business, for the first 6 months I only had 2 things on there. I can't remember what the first one is, but the second one was I invested in an accountant, literally like straight off the bat, because I was like, I can't even read the thing that explains how to do the thing online. So I was like, I don't have a hope. So yeah, it's kind of like you can be very proud of how lean you are when you first start, but I think that as you dive deeper into it, you are going to have to bite the bullet.
Yeah, I think you hit a limit, don't you, when you're in business, and to go further and to scale and grow, you need to break through that barrier. And that is where you kind of need to save. Your time is precious now. So outsource, let's pay for things.
I think the biggest saver of time, actually thinking about like tools and stuff like that, I think for me the biggest saver of time has been investing in education. Like that has been the biggest saver of time, because what you're doing is that, like, for example, I took a course. Now, what was it on? I've taken so many courses. I think it was a photography course on how to use one of these, like not a DSLR camera, because I actually did photography in college, but I didn't know how to use one of these. I could use the DSLRs and the old film cameras, because I'm that old, but I didn't know how to use one of these. And I actually bought a course teaching me how to do this. And most recently, when I bought this webcam, I actually bought a course on how to like make sure that it was all set up, because when I first plugged it in, it was terrible. Like the quality was so bad. And I'm sure I could have learned how to do it, but it would have taken me like 3 months, and how many hours of wasted time. I could have just done that, but time for me right now is precious, so it's like weighing it up as to exactly.
And like when I first met you and I took the Handmade Bosses course, I'd spent the first 2 years doing Etsy and setting it all up completely wrong. But I'd tried to learn it myself. And then until I met you and we had the course that told me exactly what to do, it's kind of like, oh, I wish I had this sooner, because it's literally taken me 2 years to get to this point. I need to scrap it all and restart and do it properly. And now it's perfect. I just need that initial thing, like you say, to do it properly. It's like when you buy a flat pack piece of furniture and you need to do it, and like, I don't need the instructions, I'll be fine. And then 4 hours later, you're like, I wish I had the instructions from the get-go. It would have taken me half an hour.
And it's like you're only trying to build a coffee table.
Yeah. It's only 4 pieces.
It's only like leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, and maybe even leg 4.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
You can include it.
But I think that, with the course, like, not only have I put everything like literally step by step, the roadmap, all the good stuff, but you're also getting a bird's eye view of the 5 years that I've been on Etsy, the mistakes that I've made, how I've overcome them. So you're buying almost like, not only are you buying the expertise, but you're buying the fast track pass. It's like when you go to like Thorpe Park and you buy, if you don't know Thorpe Park, all right, let's use Disney World, right? That's probably like a more universal thing. But when you can now buy like the fast passes, where for like, I think it's like $200 for like a day, and you skip to the front of the queue for every single ride. So it means like someone can come in and do like the entire park within like 2 days, rather than spending probably a good 3 to 4 hours a day queuing in ridiculously hot lines.
Yeah, this is it. And as a parent as well, that is going to save me so many arguments.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because you can keep a child entertained for 5 minutes in a queue while we go to Asda and, buy some shopping. And that's hard enough.
Yeah.
But if you're in a busy theme park and you've got like to spend, like we went to Legoland when the kids were a bit younger, and we sat and queued in every single queue. And then the next time we went, we were like, we are buying the fast passes because the kids were miserable, horrible little creatures by the end of it. Well, the second time it was brilliant because we were like, let's go on this ride, and they had fun. So yeah. We've gone well off topic, but you get our metaphors.
Yeah. And I mean, when you're trying to work out Etsy for yourself and it's not working out, you then become the annoying little creature.
Yes, definitely.
Hey boss, did you enjoy our mini episode? You can catch the full episode on your favourite podcast app or watch it on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing conversations coming your way soon.